Hey guys, it's me, Maddie, and today I'm doing a showcase for the one and only Topaz. Oh my gosh, look, they're friends. Oh my, I forgot that can happen. Anyway, yes, I finally have Topaz, and not only do I have her, I finally built her. She is built to the best of her abilities, I will add, which also means that she might be lacking in the trace department, which is par for the course, because traces are expensive, but we'll get into that later. As you guys know, this is just a showcase, so I'm not going to go too much into detail about, like, her build and such, or, like, the why behind why she's built like this. It's mostly just to show you guys, like, hey, this is Topaz, on my account at least. She's built, and she is very much playable. Of course, like I said, given the resources I had, she's built as best as I could, meaning her light cone is probably heavily improvised, because I don't pull for light cones yet. And her relics are based on what works best in the current build. So if you have any opinions or any advice for future showcases, please feel free to let me know. I actually do go and read them, even if they are a little repetitive and redundant. But I appreciate the feedback nonetheless. Also, heads up, you do not have to take the way I build my characters as, like, the method to build them, because most of the time, it really isn't. Like, I'm just doing what works best for me. Literally by any means necessary is, like, how I try to build these characters. Well, I've started doing better, guys. I've started, like, putting in a lot more effort to make sure they are adequately built and actually do what they're supposed to. So, I've been getting better, guys. But that means do whatever works for you too, or do whatever guides tell you you should do it. But I will say that I do plan on making, like, little mini guides in the future, in case you guys are interested in my builds and all, like, the little details and how I make certain team comps based on the characters I have built. So look out for that in the near future. But anyway, on to the video. I recall a few comments pointing out how I did not have Topaz built. And I also recall mentioning in that same video that I had just pulled on her most recent rerun banner at the time. And I don't know if you guys knew this, but Rome was not built in a day. And Topaz wasn't either. In fact, I was literally building another character on that day, so cut me some slack. I'm trying. I finally got around to doing it. She's built to the best of my ability. Starting off with her Eidolons. You guys know I don't pull for Eidolons. I don't need any other copies yet. There's just too many characters out, and I'm like, I always want to get, like, the new characters. Maybe. Sometimes. I don't know. These new ones, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want them right now. So, yeah, Topaz, she's E0. Same goes for Light Cone. Actually, the reason I didn't pull for a Light Cone, like the other reasons I don't pull for Light Cones, is because I can't afford to pull for Light Cones and characters. I know it's like a 75-25, but I can barely win a 50-50, so I need all the jade I can get. And I know that, like, takes half the, you know, showcase fun out of it, because there's like, oh no big numbers, no big damage, no. I'm like, yeah, okay, but I save all that so I can build other characters in the future and actually have, like, a decent roster that I can use and that is playable when I do all these challenges and stuff. So, yeah. With that being said, her light cone is not her light cone at all. It's not even like the number 2 recommended, the number 3 recommended. No, it is the one of the low use rated light cones, and that's because I genuinely had no other options. I will show you the build guide. So as you can see, at the top of the chain is her personal light cone, and then right after that is the 4-star light cone for Sushong, and then which my March 7th has, but it's also not leveled at all. And I occasionally try to use March 7th, so I was like, no, I'll let her have it. That was a mistake. So I'm probably gonna end up fixing the light cone sooner or later. Her third best recommended is Yang Qing's 5-star light cone. Great, don't have it. Then their fourth best is the Herda 5-star light cone, which my Fei Xiao has, because I don't have Fei Xiao's light cone either. Why would I? What do I look like? Someone with money? Don't answer that. And then at the bottom we have Hanya's 4-star light cone and Aventurine's 4-star light cone at low use. So my options, like I said, were very, very thin. I might actually switch to this one, but that's besides the point. The light cone's maxed out. It does what it does. I won't go into the details, but that's her light cone. Her traces, guys, I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. They're all at 9. I know they would be better at 10, but would they really be that much better at 10? Would they really be wait. I can't even take them level 10. I can't even take all of them to level 10. Oh. What's her skill? What would the next level look like? Would it really be better at 10? Oh my goodness, probably. Honestly, like I said, she's built to the best of her ability. My ability to build her. And I tried. I put a lot of effort into Topaz. It took me a couple weeks of doing this in the background to get her built properly-ish. She's playable. She's super playable. She is like one of my go-tos now whenever I use Fei Xiao or whenever I'm doing Divergent Universe. So I think she's great the way she is, but she could be better, obviously. Her relics are all maxed out. I think this is the best set for... No, I think this is the only set for her so far, because this is the one that came out when Penacony released, which is when Topaz came out. So yes, this is the Inert Salsodo and the Ash Blazing Grand Duke set. Yeah, that is her recommended set. They work pretty well. I'm not going to show you guys my rolls. I don't think it's worth it. I'll show you those in the build video that I plan on doing at some point. We're gonna go finish this off by looking at her stats as a whole. So as you can see right off the bat, she has 3,200 HP, she has 2,146 attack, her defense is 969, her speed is 149, her crit ratio is ass. That's just it. It's ass. I'm not even gonna read it out. Her break effect is 17.4%, and her effect hit rate is 20.3%, and her effect resistance is 12%. Now she has a 61.2% fire damage boost, which is unironically her best and highest on here, unfortunately. Do with that information as you will. So, to finish off this showcase, I've already designed a 3-person, not a 4-person, only because the 4th person, it really just depends on the situation. But like, the go-to 3-person team that I would use her on is, of course, Sparkle and Fei Xiao. I'm gonna give like a brief reasoning as to why, only because like that would require me to like go into depth about like builds and stuff and how they work, and like I said, I was gonna cover all that in a different video. But the team that works best for Topaz based off official guides would be Fei Xiao, Dr. Ratio, Clara, Tingyun, Sparkle, a handful of characters. But unfortunately, these are all the ones I have built. And I don't think I plan on building Dr. Ratio anytime soon. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. But so far, what I can come up with is Fei Xiao, Topaz, and Sparkle. The only problem is that if you are familiar with Topaz's guide or how she's supposed to be played, she can either be her own DPS or she can be a support. So in this team, I'm using her mainly as a FUA support, which means a follow-up attack support. That's the team I'm technically running. However, with Sparkle being Sparkle, with Sparkle being so amazing, guys, if Topaz was going to be the main DPS, she would be used with Sparkle for a hyper carry team, along with Tingyun, I believe, and then maybe I don't know, whoever you want to put in that fourth slot. That's what I said. She really only needs a 3-person team. So, in short, yes, I'm mixing up team comps, but I think as a Sparkle main, as a certified Sparkle main, I think this is like, you know, one of the best uses, and I do use Sparkle for like everything. Like, she doesn't leave my team. So naturally, I'm gonna find some way to incorporate her, and luckily she does work well with Topaz because of the hyper carry aspect of it. But since we're using Topaz to support Fei Xiao and Sparkle to support both of them, it's going to be a more so FUA team than a hyper carry, but it's going to be like a Fei Xiao hyper carry. So, you know, same difference, pretty much same difference. So yeah, that's what I recommend. Honestly, if you actually do care about my opinion, I did hear prior to like me building, well no, in the midst of me building Topaz, I heard she works really well with Fei Xiao. And I'm like, okay, great, it's amazing. I already had Fei Xiao built, and then I only just recently learned that she works good with Sparkle too, and I'm like, I think everyone works pretty good with Sparkle, I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah. Obviously, if you don't have someone who does follow-up attacks, such as Clara, Fei Xiao, or Dr. Ratio, like I said, she works good as her own DPS with a hyper carry team with supports like Tingyun and Sparkle and another fourth person. And that team is also pretty free to play too, with Sparkle being the only 5-star on it. So yeah, free to play Topaz would probably definitely be the hyper carry route. The FUA route, honestly, it depends. I didn't spend money getting Fei Xiao or Sparkle, or like, guys, I don't really spend money on this game. FYI, just for clarification, I don't really spend money on this game, which is why I emphasize how bad I am at these 50/50s. So, to me, this is pretty free to play, but in the grand scheme of things, not everyone is as lucky as me, I guess. I don't even feel lucky at the time. So, yeah. Anyway, that was my Topaz showcase. If there's anything you want to see in particular, please feel free to let me know down in the comments below. And I think that's all I have to show you guys. Actually, I do have proof that my facial works to some extent. I've been playing the Divergent Universe, guys. I've been doing it. Like, I didn't do it much before, but I've been doing it now, guys. You should be proud. I don't usually do this. And it's proof that I have done different scenarios with Topaz and Facial and Sparkle. I think I have a save file with them already. I forgot how to check my save files, guys. Let me see. Let me see. Wait, there it is. Oh yeah, the last time I did an ordinary extrapolation, I used this team, which, as you can see, that 4th slot has Asta in it, because my girl Asta, I gotta bring her back. I put in the work to build her, and her rent is due. So I did use this team. This team was like actually really good. Like it was like whoa now. And then it also works out because both Facial and Topaz are following the path of the hunt. So, you know, there's some pros and cons to that, but it works out for the most part. But anyway, that's all I have to say. The end of this video is just gonna be clips of me trying out my Facial Topaz Sparkle team to show you guys. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!